phone is on silent too.
You shouldn't be though, but thank you.
Put mine on D&D.
It's not on silent.
Or vibrate or something. It didn't ring.
That's crazy.
I just saw the light.
You are on live.
You're kidding me.
Emily is on.
Hello, Emily. Got 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
What should I talk about?
We're talking about tonight, words that sell.
Got time to research anything about that, you think?
I hope you do.
Let me know if there's any commentary that you want me to know about while we're doing our thing, okay?
Hey, Emily. Emily, today is actually a sales mastery class with Brian. He gives it on Monday nights, and we've been having it on a different channel, but we are actually having it on this channel right now. This is a sales mastery class for entrepreneurs and business owners. Candace on Candace Carson.
Candace Carson, what's up, sis? How's my sister doing?
Awesome.
And then 30 minutes from now, woman to woman.
Yeah, 30 minutes from now on my page is woman to woman.
I'll leave the house.
You don't have to leave the house.
I don't even want to hear what y'all talk about.
Whatever. Emily will probably, we can touch on trust on my broadcast in 30 minutes. Your audience is building.
I got 2 minutes to go.
You do.
What they said about my clock.
I have 8:59.
So we got Emily and Candace.
There are others on, but I don't see the names.
Oh my goodness, look at the video.
What about it?
I can see it here. If you please view in the Facebook app. Okay, fine.
All right, I need you to get out.
We don't have any intro, do we?
Not yet. I don't. Do you want one?
Yeah, I think I do.
Do you want the same music?
I'm sure that'd be fine. What I don't have is a rag.
All right, well, you got a minute, so I need you to get back in position.
Somebody turned the heat on in our house, and they know full well our heat works very good.
Emily is studying entrepreneurship at CPCC, so she can participate in this class too. That's great, Emily.
Say something. Introducing us out. Let's go.
All right.
Anything.
Thank you for joining this evening's Sales Mastery class with Brian K McNeill. Tonight we will be learning words that sell. Mr. McNeill.
Good evening. Good evening. I think this is our 4th Sales Mastery class. Last Monday night I did it on the Improve Your Sales Now forum instead of my page, but my page has more people, so it's a good idea for me to come back to my page. Now tonight's title is Words That Sell, but that's probably a misnomer. It should be words that you use when selling and words that you don't use. At the end of these 30 minutes, we're going to talk about words that you should be using much more often, and then words you should not be using at all. And I'm even going to talk about why you should and why you should not. You know, I've been helping people to sell better for more than 25 years, and not long ago I had a chance to meet a guy who was in my sales training class probably 15 years ago. And he told me he was using some of the stuff he learned from what I'm about to teach you tonight that's helped him to sell for his whole career. He said the first time I told him was the first time he heard it. Now, for someone like me who studies sales all the time, I study sales today for like 2 hours. I study sales today on YouTube, different things, different people stuff. Some of the stuff I teach, I assume falsely that everyone already knows it. Some of the stuff is like basic to me, and it might be basic to other people that have been in a lot of sales training, but it's not basic to everyone. So what I'm going to do tonight, for some of you, is going to be a wonderful review. And some of you, it's going to be brand new information. Now, here's what you need to understand. People will buy from you for their own reasons, not yours. And people choose to buy for either emotional reasons or for logical reasons. Now, emotional reasons are things the way that people imagine that they're going to feel good about it, or they imagine they're going to enjoy it, or they imagine other people will feel good about them because they did this. Logical reasons are because it's smart and it makes sense and it's a good deal. Fully 90% of why we buy anything are for emotional reasons. Only 10% of the time we buy for logical reasons. Typically, we use logic just to justify our emotional decision. Now, in the short time we have, I don't have time to persuade you on this, but I promise you it to be true. But knowing this to be true, you have got to learn how to use emotional words in offering your services. In selling yourself and your services, you've got to learn how to use emotional words. Now, this is going to start basic at first and it's going to get more and more detailed. But the most emotional word in the English language starts with an L. The word is love. Most adults have taught themselves how to become uncomfortable saying the word love. I'm encouraging everyone on this call tonight to learn how to use the word love in selling what you sell. As a matter of fact, right now, think of a sentence where you can use the word love to sell your services or to sell yourself. Now, if you say things like, I love helping people, or I love doing this, or anything like that, where you're the star of the story, that sentence can be much stronger if you let the other person be the star of the story. You're going to love, or you will love, is how you should be using it when you talk about your services. Think about you will love. In addition to love, I want you to become much more comfortable with the words you and your. When you're talking to clients about offering your services, talk about you and your, or them and their. You and your, them and their. Talk about that when you're selling your services. The second most emotional word in the English language that you need to become much more comfortable using starts with an H. And the word is home. Home. Think of a sentence right now where you can use the word home in selling your services. Everyone in your home will be happily involved in this project. Or everyone in your home will see the benefits of you and your body because you did this and this and this. Or you're going to feel great driving home knowing that da da da. Love and home are words I want you to become much more comfortable using. Now think of a sentence right now where you can combine both of these words in the same sentence. It should sound something like, you're going to love da 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 as you're going home, or something. But put both of them in the same sentence. Love and home. Now I'm going to keep this moving. I'm going to move a little bit faster because I just thought there's a lot more stuff I want to cover during a 30-minute time period. Now, I want you guys to just listen to me because I sell so much. I sell more than anyone else in the world. I sell. And what I tell people is, I just want you to sign the contract. I tell people to sign the contract, and they do it all the time because I'm such a good salesman. Now, any of those sentences I said in the last 20 seconds sound good?
No.
Good, because none of that is how I would ever word anything. But you and I both know we hear people say these things all the time. We hear other salespeople talk about, all I got to do is get you to sign the contract and we can get moving. Or give me a down payment. All of those are bad words. I'm going to show you some bad words. A bad selling word is a word that takes you away from the sale. A good selling word is a word that brings you closer to the sale. Everything counts when you're talking to your potential client. Everything. Everything either adds to or takes away. Let me give you some bad words. Bad words you should never say in the presence of your potential client. One of them is sell or sold. Don't say that around your clients. Replace sell or sold. Every time you feel a tendency to say one of these words, replace it with the words help or helped. Helped or helped. I sold the Joneses, I sold the Thompsons, I sold the Williamses. I helped the Joneses, I helped the Thompsons, I helped the Williamses. It fits beautifully. Don't ever say, in the presence of your client, sign or signature. Man, I feel like I'm about to sign my
life away.
Life away, and everyone knows that. If I'm in Florida, if I'm in Kansas City, if I'm in New York, if I'm in California, I can start a sentence off and everyone knows how it ends. Because everyone has, at least over the age of 30, they all have signed something at some point that they regret. Some health club membership, some cell phone agreement. They regret it. So don't say sign or signature. I replace sign or signature. I use autograph. Autograph. Or you can use okay the paperwork, your approval, your agreement, your name. Any of that stuff works, but I use autograph. Here's a really bad one. Payment. Or down payment. Or monthly payment. Down payment, monthly payment, bad, bad, bad. Don't say that. Don't say payments. You can't afford the whole thing? I can set you up on some payments. Everyone thinks they have enough payments and they don't want any more from you. Replace these words. Don't say these bad words. These are bad words. I use, instead of payment, I use terms, or upfront money, I like to say the word money when I'm working with my clients, by the way. And I don't back away from it. I tend to stress the word money. And because I tend to stress the word money, it jacked up my accent some kind of way. So now people make fun of me because I say the word money sometimes. But that's just something that goes on in my world. Down payment, monthly payment. No, it's terms. Don't say these bad words. Here's another bad one. Someone said to me the other day, contract. And this person compounded it by asking me to sign a contract.
Wow.
I didn't like it. It didn't feel good to me. That's what it is, yes. But don't fool yourself. These little things like this matter greatly. Again, everything counts. It either adds to or takes away. Contract, replace contract. Replace it with the agreement. The agreement or the paperwork. Now, hope y'all got that, because I'm going to tell you some more words that you really need to know. For most people, let me get rid of this. For most people, the sweetest sounding word they hear during the course of their normal day, and almost no one hears it often enough, is their own first names. Their own first names. If you will pay someone credit or edify a person by saying their own first name, and you can't overdo it. If you've ever performed in a play and you had actually a coach direct you in the play, one of the things they tell you is when you're on stage, you really need to exaggerate your gestures, because from the people in the audience, you might feel that you're over-exaggerated, but it looks natural to them. You might think you're saying their names too often, but you're not. Hey, Lisa, how do you feel about this right here? And Lisa, how do you see this? And Lisa, let me tell you this. Lisa, Lisa, Lisa. Every time you say a person's name, you come across as more friendly. I'm going to encourage you tonight to use your clients' first names often. First names often. This is a big deal. Use their first names often.
Myra is on, and Shepherd is on, and Dorothy is on.
Cool, cool. Thank you guys for joining me. Here's another thing. I've said this story before. Maybe you've heard this story before, but this is the magical selling word. This one word has had the power to change your mind your whole life. Even if you know what the magical selling word is, you're still powerless to stop it. Now, and this is a word that I want you to add to your selling arsenal, but this is a word that I want you to use sparingly. I don't want you to use this word too much because it's too powerful a word. They once ran a full-page ad in a New York City newspaper saying, "Come and get your free copies today." People were lined up outside the hotel lobby and down the block to get their free copies. Everyone thought they were testing copy machines, but they weren't. They sent test people through the line. "Can I get in front of you, please? Because my babysitter has to leave, but I really need to make these copies." And people say, "Sure, go ahead." Or, "Can I get in front of you, please? Because my car's double parked, but I really need to make these copies." "Sure, go ahead." Again. Everybody in that line had someplace else to be, but they let people skip them because of the way they worded it. Now, so far, I've used the magical selling word twice. And it's not free, although I said free twice. And it's not the word please, and I did say the word please twice. But the magical selling word is the word because. Because. I need you to pay attention to this word right now, because if you don't feel in that because when you're talking to someone, they'll stop chewing if they're eating. They'll lean forward if they're at the table, because grown people cannot stand a story not finished. They have to know what the because is. The word because indicates that there's more to the story. A client could have told you no several times. And you could say to them, "Well, I understand you said no, but I'm going to ask you to change your mind, because if you do change your mind, you'll start enjoying these benefits now instead of later." Or, "Because if you put it off any longer, the only difference between now and then is just that it'll cost more, but you're going to do it anyway." Because. Use the word because. You should go ahead and get involved with this program now, because you should let me be your coach, because I know sometimes but because of this, you should do this now. Use the word because. Have fun with the word because. I will say that to you. Practice it. Now, by the way, I believe you play your game the way you practice your game. So if you're not willing to practice your game, amateurs practice on their very best prospects. Champions practice before they get in front of a prospect. So I'm going to encourage you to be a champion and practice using the client's first name before you get in the presence of your best clients. Hope y'all still with me.
We got Katora on and Tanya as well.
Cool.
Tanya Harden.
Tanya Harden's a trooper. All right, so now we've talked about some bad words of selling, some good word replacements to selling. We've talked about the magical selling word in selling your services. And I want to talk about just a couple more things. How you say it. How you say it. Now, I believe I've covered some of this before, but not this way. Yes, I do want you to use the words you and your more often, but the voice inflection that you use when you are talking about your service does matter. For example, if I said to you, if I called up Lisa on the phone and said, and we weren't married yet, and I asked Lisa out on a date, and I used a voice tonality that was not pleasing to her, or if my voice tonality was too high or pitched, or if I spoke too fast, it wouldn't have nearly the effect. "Hey, Lisa, this is Brian McNeill. I don't know if I can go on a date with you." That doesn't nearly have the effect because it's spoken too high. It's spoken too high and too fast. Now, the speed of your talking doesn't matter as much because people speak at a rate of about 200 words a minute up to 225. Somewhere in that range, slow as 150. Somewhere in that range is what people speak at. But people can listen at 450 words a minute. So rarely do you speak too fast for anybody. But the way it sounds matters. But if you use a pleasing voice tonality, and a pleasing voice tonality for most people is their date voice. That's the pleasing voice tonality. "Hey, Lisa, this is Brian, and I'm hoping your schedule is cleared on Friday because I would love to take you to dinner. Can I take you to dinner?" The rule is when you're giving information, you should talk a little bit higher and a little bit faster than you normally do, because that's how people want to hear it. Not much higher, not much faster, just a little bit higher and a little bit faster than you normally do. But when attempting to persuade, you should talk lower and slower. Now, I got plenty of time left too. Good.
14 minutes.
14 minutes. So we're talking about words that sell and how you say those words and the skillful use of those words and the practicing of your presentation. I am going to encourage all of you to partner or practice with someone or join Toastmasters. Toastmasters, if you're not familiar with it, is probably the world's greatest organization when it comes to public speaking and personal growth. Toastmasters is in every city, and within Charlotte, there's probably 20 different clubs, and we are launching our own club as well. The Empowerment Circle is about to launch a Toastmasters Club. It's going to be a Tuesday afternoon club from 12 to 1:15. Yes, ma'am?
Empowerment Speakerpreneurs.
Empowerment Speakerpreneurs is going to be our Toastmasters Club. I've been a Toastmaster for many years myself. The other day, I had a conversation on the phone with someone, and my wife overheard the conversation. And when I got off the phone, she said, "That was really good how you handled that. You came across this way and that way and this way and that way." And what my wife heard was many years of practice, many years of practice, drill, and rehearse. And some of that she heard was my Toastmasters training. I'm sure that's what it was. Some of it was my studying of sales, but some of it was just my Toastmasters training. Our group is going to be called the Empowerment Speakerpreneur. It's going to have a focus, and the focus is going to be entrepreneurship. Our focus is going to be entrepreneurship because I think entrepreneurs, a lot of times, we just had a contractor leave here who's a really smart guy who really knows exactly what he's doing with his contract.
He's the one for Katura.
And he's actually Katura's reference. I would refer this guy to anyone. And one of the cool things about, this is the second day him working on our home, one of the cool things about him is he's learning some stuff from me about how to offer his services, and it's all with new information from him. But he's also courageous enough to give it a try. He brings his son here as his helper. So as I teach him things about how to present what he's offering the world, he's practicing it in front of his son. When I meet someone that has a service and I have any opportunity to talk with them, I want to ask them 3 questions. And I'm going to ask you guys these 3 questions right now, and I want you to answer them for yourself. But question 1, I put you in a scene. And let's say that you're at a business mixer or a party, but there's no loud music or anything like that. And you end up in a huddle where there's a couple of guys and a couple of ladies that just happen to be standing near each other. So the conversation is friendly, and it swings around to you, and they say, "So, Katura, what do you do for a living?" Now, in that scene, how do you answer that question? Now, when I ask someone that question, a lot of times they give me either a clever answer, or they don't answer it, or they give me something trite, or they give me something overly descriptive. Like if you were at a party, how would you answer the question, "What do you do for a living?" That's question 1. I would love for you to answer that question out loud for yourself right now, as if I'm there with you talking. What do you do for a living? I want to hear your answer. So if you're willing to do that, question number 2 is, we're not at the party anymore, it's just you and I talking. Question number 2 is, who do you believe would pay for your services? Who do you believe would pay for your services? A lot of times when I ask that question, some people give me horrible answers. They'll say things like, everybody, or anybody with skin, or anybody who drives a car. Everybody, anybody, or everybody are all bad answers, and none of those answers are true, because not everybody is your client. There's an old sales adage. It goes 25, 50, and then 25. 25% of the people that you talk to, they're going to buy from you just because you and their personality click. 1 out of 4. 50% of the people, any kind of salesperson you can get. Any kind of salesperson. Any kind of salesperson can get half of them out there. Any personality type. But that remaining 25% is anyone but you. And you'll never get them. Anyone but you. Because your personality is not going to click with everybody. But I like this analogy because you got a shot at 3 out of 4 people. 3 out of 4 people that you talk to about your services, you got a shot at them saying yes. 1 out of 4 you don't, and I like those odds. So back to the scenario.
Monica English is on, and Cousin Tim Cummington.
What's up, cuz? What's up, Monica? How you doing? So back to the scenario. Question number 2 is, who do you believe would pay for your services? Now, the good answers are things like potential clients or someone that can use it. Now, if you earn your money through people, they're going to either be clients or customers. That's what they're going to be, either clients or customers. I know it's a cool thing to say, well, they're my new family members. Really, they're going to be either your clients or your customers. Or they're going to be my new friends. They're part of my family. Okay, I get that. I get you saying that, but they're really your client. And then the third question I like to ask is, what business are you in? What business are you in? Now, typically people will say things like, well, I'm in the healthcare business, I'm in the financial services business, I'm in the real estate business, I'm in the insurance business. If you earn your money through people, if you earn your money by helping out clients, none of those things are true. Your real business is the capturing and keeping of a new client business. If you earn your money through people, your real job is to secure a new client. Now, that's not what you tell people. It's what I would want you to know. You tell people this, what I'm about to help you with right now, because I got 8 minutes to go. I'm going to teach you how to build your story. This is something I do for free, but it has a lot of value. Whenever my wife and I are out and about and someone prospects us or someone comes to us and I listen to their story, and so does my wife, we give them this, what I'm about to give you right now, as a way to be helpful to them. I know if I teach someone how to tell their story, even if I never saw them again, I know they will get some value that will help them to sell themselves and their services better than they ever have before for the rest of their lives. Write this down. You know how ...
You want to use one of the businesses that are on the broadcast?
Sure.
Yeah.
Give me one.
What about Candace Carson's business?
Candace Carson's business. Okay. So let me put the 3 things up here, and I'm gonna do Candace Carson's business. You know how. And then I want you to skip a few lines, and then I want you to write the words, well, what I do is ... And then I want you to skip a few lines and then write the words, so that they can ... So if I was in Candace Carson's business and someone asked me what I do for a living, go ahead and ask me, Lisa.
So Brian, what is it that you do for a living?
You know how there's so many wonderful speakers out here with great programs to offer. And a lot of people benefit greatly from those programs, but the speakers are sometimes challenged in finding the right audience for them. And they're even more challenged in finding the right audience that's willing to pay them what their speaking engagements are worth. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, what I do is I match entities and organizations with the right speakers. And I do them through my company, Lily of the Valley Speakers Bureau, so that they can have great events with the right speaker every time with no risk. That's what I do.
Awesome.
So now, what I did there, and I can do it for any business, when someone asks you what do you do for a living, your first job is to introduce a problem. The first job is to, let me change the color. If I change the color, would it be okay if I go to red?
Mm-hmm.
When someone asks you what do you do for a living, I want you to say the words, you know how, and then your job is to introduce a problem that your service solves. Introduce a problem that your service solves. And it needs to sound like an easy to agree upon problem. Don't tell them about all the problems your service solves. Just tell them about one that's easy to agree upon. You know how, And what you're looking for is agreement. You're looking for them to agree. Agreement. And you're looking for any kind of agreement. Uh-huh. Yep. Absolutely. A head nod, an uh-huh, a grunt. Any implied agreement that they agree upon the problem that you mentioned, that's all you're looking for. You know how, Yes, I do know how. Then you transition them. Well, what I do is, now what you're doing is you're introducing yourself as a solution to the problem. Introduce yourself, intro yourself as a solution. Typically, you're introducing yourself as a solution to the problem that they just agreed was a problem.
Pam Dellinger is on and Julius Kuntz.
Well, hello, hello, hello. You know how introduce a problem that's easy to agree upon. Well, what I do is introduce yourself as a solution to the problem. And then do this here so that they can. This is the most important part. You do all this cool stuff so that they can what? Give a great big benefit of working with you. When I was pretending I was in Candace Carson's business, what?
You got 2 minutes.
Okay, when I was in Candace Carson's business, the big benefit I used so that the entity and the organization can have the right speaker for that event with no risk, because they can't afford to book the wrong speakers. They got to keep their business going. So tonight what we covered was a few words that you need to learn to use much more often. Words like love, home, the client's first name, and the magical selling word of because. We talked a little bit about how important your rate of speech is. When giving information, talk a little bit higher and faster. But when attempting to persuade, that means when you're going for the money or when you're going for the appointment. Lower and slower. Your appointment or money voice is your date voice, the voice you would use on a first date. And we also talked about how to tell your story with words. You know how? Well, what I do is so that they can. How we doing?
You got a minute?
I got a minute. Now, what I want to tell you is, you're welcome to watch this video again and again and again. But here's the other thing too. I have produced books. The first book is called The Shortcut. 74 pages. And if you will just do what this book says, the book is titled The Shortcut, the fastest route to selling you and your services better than you ever had before, so you can earn more money than ever before. The Shortcut. It doesn't cover closing sales, so I wrote Asking for the Money. How anyone can close more sales, even you. And get up with me, and I'll show you how to get that. Where's my tissue? Last thing I'm going to give you, every one of you guys are on Facebook Live, so you can reach out to me from Facebook Live. But I'm still old school. I'm so old school that if you called me, I would actually answer the phone. 919-345-4893. If you will call me, I will help you with your story, and I'll help you with your story for free. I do what I call a phone consultation. You all have honored me with your presence. I ask you for 30 minutes of your time. If there's any questions that have not been addressed, you're welcome to inbox me or message me or however you want to do. But if I can get to it, I will. Anything I need to know? Thank you very much for your time. This has been Monday Night Sales Mastery. See you next Monday.